I hope traders and investors alike were green last week, and I hope everybody's having a great weekend, getting some rest and relaxation. So this week we're coming into options expiration. We also have a lot of bigger names starting to report earnings, coming into earnings. So earnings are probably going to set the stage for us in the market. As for the price action front, as on the thumbnail, I just wanted to point out. So we have had 3 strong candles like this, 3 strong bullish engulfing candles, just like we had last week. We had 2 previous, and every week we have a inside bar, so we could be expecting an inside bar this week. Let moving averages catch up, and there would be nothing wrong with that. Also, going into options expiration week, that is a option because the market definitely likes to chop coming into Monday and Tuesday, so we're also expecting that. A few other things that we know that we are having amongst 2 strikes that could affect the market. You do have the ups issues going on, and then the actors issues going on. So both of those can actually affect the market. So we will be listening for details on those, and those can definitely change. Short can definitely, well, UPS, that would probably be major for the market. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But we will worry about that at that time. Right now, we're going to pay attention to what the market's telling us right here at this time. We're also coming into PAL, FOMC minutes. The rate numbers release, not minutes, but the FOMC, the rate numbers release, and the press conference is at the end of this month as well. So possible hike coming into that, but right now the market seems to be handling all that really good. And as we can see here, strong close last week, but we can easily be expecting a bearish engulfing candle or just an inside day to be put in. Some of the earnings this week, coming in, so we do have Netflix is on Wednesday night, so say some of the bigger names. We have Tesla this week as well. So we get a good look all the way around. We do got some semis in there, IBM, Taiwan Semi, American Express, SLB. So we got some energy names in there as well. So even some of the regional banks. So on that front, definitely start to see some movement in the market. So let's get looking at these charts and see where we can think we're heading this week. So as for sentiment, nice strong move down on the breadth chart on Friday. We did not get a strong move down in our price action. We had a bearish day, but we did not get a strong move as like we had in the breadth chart. The dollar kind of putting in a bullish little harami down there. It's a little spinning top, but it is set up as a bullish harami the way it closed. VIX, so still telling us there's no fear in the market. We know that's not the best instrument to follow right now because it's just kind of broken, to be honest. But still screaming there's no fear in this market right now. Crude seeing a rejection at the 200, getting back into the Bollinger Bands, exactly what you would expect there. Look for a pullback to your short-term 9 moving average and see if you can get a bounce there. Apple still closed under that daily 9. I would like to see Apple get back above that daily 9, not far out for Apple's earnings. You can also see Apple here. This is the 15-minute chart. You can just draw this box. You can take a trade within this box, or you can wait for a breakout of this box. So if you get a breakout of this box, it's probably going to have some momentum behind it on the breakout. So that could be worth watching going into this week, and that's Apple's 15-minute chart. Just draw your box. That has the pre-market levels on it and all. Pre-market is turned on that chart. So gold breaking up here. So just want to take a really good look. This setup is very similar to the AMC chart we're getting ready to look at. This breakout is you got this downtrend, little bottom ascending triangle, was able to break this out, move up above your moving average, clearing that moving average. You got room to move. You can get a nice move up. We're going to look at AMC here in a minute. The advanced decline lines turning back down. So this is the AMC chart, very similar downtrend with a small bottom ascending triangle. Let's move down here, testing so it's telling us the buyers are trying to step in, but testing that downtrend, and you can see the big rejection, moving averages coming through here. Just not a lot of room to move there, and got a big rejection. See how we act here. So if we can get under this, well, on the outside of this pattern, we could see a move lower. I would want to see it get out of the pattern. You just got to have room to move. AMD, you can see the big rounded mountain play there. Going into the end of the day, we sold, very strong move up, and it just sold. That's the bad thing about having, pops on assets in pre-market. A lot of times that is the move to the upside. Amazon, you got a nice gap there. Keep an eye on that gap. ARK, so we do have a kind of a dark cloud coverage. You can see the candle did actually gap up and move lower. So very dark cloud coverage there. But as for the market being super FOMO, see where tomorrow's candle opens up. Need to confirm that bearish. It's like I say, it's more of a dark cloud cover than it is Harami, but it's definitely bearish. We could be trying to get a move back down. Look for some kind of daily flag there. See how it acts tomorrow. See where the candle opens up tomorrow. AMD, that's a very ugly candle there. We see in the intraday move. AMD weekly still unable to reclaim that weekly 9. Affirm, huge push up here. Technically, if you took this head and shoulders pattern gapping down, the textbook says that your trade's still valid. I would be really careful with this. See how it acts off the 9 and the 20 here. They are definitely coming for fintech plays, so we are definitely keeping an eye on these names. PayPal, Square. We're going to look at Square chart. All the fintech names as well made some nice moves last week. Amazon, nice push on Friday and then give it back. And that's what we're seeing going into most of the charts we're going to look at. Amazon, we did manage to close over top that 200 weekly, so that's a good sign. That's where we struggled there for a few weeks. We can get over here, coming back into a previous level of resistance here. This was support at one time, so we're expecting resistance there now coming into it. So that's the next major level to clear, and it's not very far away. It's been a great move up this year. I caught it from the bottom. Apple, strong push up here, flagging back in. You can see we come down here, the move down towards the weekly 9, the bullishness coming back into that. I would draw a line right across that weekly chart there, and I would need to take that line out, or at least watch that line for resistance, because treat it just like a weekly flag, and make sure you got that drawn on your chart. That way you know where that level is of resistance while you're trading. Even on an intraday chart, that level could be very helpful while you're trading. Boeing, so had this cut breakout, got shoved right back down. Not really sure what it's doing here. You can see this little trend line, little uptrend. You can try to take a trade off of that. Definitely a level of interest right now. BTU breaking back down here last week. Strong bearish engulfing candle signaling some downside. So you got Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat is pulling back in. Strong move here. Exactly what we were expecting. Short interest stocks. Pulling back into your Bollinger Bands. Looking for a flag. Bitcoin weekly, you can see right into this previous level of resistance here. This was actually support, and now it's acting as a resistance level. So that's one of the biggest problems with Bitcoin. You need to clear that level. You can see it's been trading in this tight flag or a very tight little contraction pattern here. Need to see a breakout of that level. There's just no need in putting your money into it until it breaks out of that level. Just no need for your money sitting still. It can do stuff. You can be making money in other places. Communication sector trying to get back into the Bollinger Bands. Been hot. Facebook has been a huge part of that. XLP breaking out of this double bottom down here, put in another little contraction or a trading range. You can just draw a box right around this area. It's definitely not perfect, but look for a breakout. This thing may be trying to push up after closing up above the 9 and 20 and the 50 right there. Chart does look like it wants to try to push up. Just be careful with it up in this area for resistance. It looks like it's trying to push up. Costco's just a monster. When those numbers come out last week, I know a lot of people wanted to go short on this name and just thought it was going to go into the dirt. And we simply said that, got the one good day down, but this thing is a juggernaut, and leave the short alone after that one good day. DraftKings breakout here. We drew this last week, ascending triangle, nice push up. We drew that chart last Sunday and got a nice breakout on Monday, and with follow through for the rest of the week. Friday is trying to get back into the BBs. DDOG, we got our breakout here we have been looking for. Been watching this chart for quite some time. It took a while clearing this resistance level here with a bullish engulfing. You see a nice move up. A lot of FOMO there, keeping it up above. That's Bollinger Band's acting as a support level, so we need to break back into that Bollinger Band, come back in for a flag, and that's where you conservative traders looking for a trade, looking off the flag. Lilly trying to push back up into your daily 9 there. Google, strong move up last week as well, coming back up into some resistance there. Home Depot, bottom ascending triangle, breakout. This is the weekly chart. We're not looking at the daily, but strong move here on the weekly. Definitely Home Depot is one to keep on to watch. It's a nice weekly pattern. You can look for resistance up in this area. IWM, this is almost H cell pattern. There's kind of ugly action there on Friday. Just opened up and they sold. That was a big help with those breaths pulling back. QQQ, nice move up here. Not super extended. Just pointing that out. We are outside the Bollinger Bands. We need to come back in, but we're not, hugely off this 9. A lot of people are just talking about how extended the market is right now, and not everything's quite as hot as people are trying to make it sound. There is a few assets that are hot, a few indices that are hot, but not everything is screaming hot here. And coming into options expiration, be a good time to cool it off. Market sentiment is not super hot or anything like that, so the market can definitely move in either direction. Has plenty of room to move. The Qs intraday, you can see we did pull back here, kind of retesting the opening candles there, trying to close. Qs weekly, strong breakout, push up, flagging back into your weekly 9, pushing higher. That's why we're watching Apple off that weekly 9, because it could do the same thing and break out and push higher. JP Morgan, decent earnings last week. Nice move here, a little hot maybe, getting back into the Bollinger Bands. You can see that move on Friday, gapped up on them earnings, but just pulling back into the Bollinger Bands, I would watch it in this area, preferably off the 9, but got a nice MACD. The chart definitely looks like it wants to go higher. Most of the banks look decent there in earnings. Not perfect, but they definitely look decent. Mara, what can we say? Breaking out of that contraction pattern. When we see price that tight, we talk about this. When you see this tight, and we called this out, when this thing breaks out, it's going to make a big move, and then boom. This thing's made a $9 move since it broke out of our pattern. Huge move there. Merck still trading in this. It's actually broken out of this upward sloping head and shoulders pattern, and we are below the armpit. This looks like decision time. You could be looking for a retest of the breakout area or short-term moving average. Definitely need to be below that 200. Could definitely see some more downside on that chart. MACD is bearish. It's worth keeping an eye on. We want it below that 200, preferably closer to that daily 9. All right, Meta Meta's been pushing up here, trying to get back into the Bollinger Bands on Friday. I mean, that's really all they're doing. It's not super bearishness. And I know the big sell and all that, as we said, it sounded too easy. A lot of people wanted to go short. It just sounded like a really easy trade. And a lot of those times, those easy trades just don't work. Microsoft, back into the Bollinger Band. You can see the gap up, and we did pull back on Friday, but just getting back into the BBs. Microsoft intraday. So you can see nice push at market open and then sold there as well. Like we said, see that on a lot of charts. Microsoft weekly looks like it's trying to break out of this area. We did get a slight close above that candle. See what happens this week. Can look for resistance here on this wick as well, but we did get a slight close above this. If we draw this out as a little flag, we've closed above it, so we can keep an eye on that. See if we can get some follow through on that candle. Now, what do we need? We need a candle to open up. So that candle's the area of interest right there. That's what it's all about, this candle now. We need a candle to gap up and run, or to open up and push up above the close of this candle before we're looking for an entry on Microsoft for a trending type trade. You got to have room to make. You want to have room to make money easily. It's the path to least resistance. It's really not any harder than that. Nvidia, back up here to the Bollinger Bands. We want it to come back in to them BBs. You can see here the nice move down, but still riding the outside of the Bollinger Band. It's hard to say we're super extended there. Look, nice weekly breakout right off. I mean, how can you say that's super extended? Weekly break off, you're moving, or flag break, you're moving average right there. The chart looks like it wants to go higher. I mean, I know it's hard to believe, but that chart looks like it wants to go higher. Just a nice chart. We talked about this, how bullish we were right here. When we broke out right there, we were bullish. We took this downtrend out, put a little base in, and we were expecting a move. We definitely did not expect that big of a move, but that's when we called it right there, breaking out of that pattern. NASDAQ, inside bar on Friday, just letting moving averages catch up. Netflix struggling here. Now, the actors strike could possibly bring some stress for Netflix, Roku, Paramount, any of the names that's within that business, and related to that business, can definitely see some downside on that. So, plus coming into earnings, want to see it could definitely possibly affected their earnings already. So this one's going to be worth keeping an eye on. It's a nice looking chart up here, trading in a very ascending triangle-ish pattern. Definitely not perfect. This candle close, we could get. So if we draw this out real quick, we could definitely get 3 touch points on it and stay within. Nope. So it tried to gap up and got rejected back in, but you can see your little ascending triangle-ish pattern there. Qs, monthly, still trading in that cups, pushing through that previous resistance. See where we close at. Month's not over yet. Roblex, we did push up, struggling up here in this gap. Looks like the gap pretty much is filled now. So back down to the 9, back, staying in the Bollinger Band, see how we move off this 9, see how we go back and retest that gap area, even though it's been filled, see if we can take it out and push higher. This is Roku trade out this really, broke out this really nice cup, pushed up, pulled back and just retested this base area that it previously broke out up to the downside, retested that area, ripping higher, trying to flag back in. 9's coming up. That one's worth keeping an eye on. Just some nice looking chart. It's just a really nice looking chart. Definitely some FOMO and looks like it was going on there. Could see a more. It's worth keep an eye on for some day trades. SPX trying to get back into the Bollinger Bands. SLB, it's the exploration sector has been hot. Good volume coming in there. Back into the Bollinger Band. See if we get a move off that 9. SoFi. We got a little downtrend type break here. We did not get the 1, 2, 3 pattern to break down. This is setting up. See if the 9 can turn up. Looks like it wants to try to push higher here. Keep an eye on the daily 9 as it turning up, and definitely keep an eye on this because this MACD could be pinching and trying to roll over there. The diamond not doing a lot. Really tried to push up, and the last 3 days have gapped up at pre-market, opened up and moved lower. You can see last week, decent candle there on the weekly chart, trying to break out of that area. SPY weekly, strong move up, looks just like the SPX. You get your bullish engulfing candles. You got the 2 weekly inside bars. We could definitely see the same thing for this upcoming week, especially going to options expiration. This month, nice push up there as well. Nice push up on the SPY. Very, we talked about this being very cup and handlish, breaking up here, taking that range out, moving higher. Just basically, this candle, I mean, it's not super bearish, but I don't want to say dark cloud cover. It did not cut into that candle very deep, but very tight candles up there. But the candle is bearish. It did cut into Friday's range and going into a choppy Monday with options expiration week. There's a good chance we could pull back tomorrow. Look for a moving average. Not saying no need low in the market or anything, but we could pull back a little bit at the beginning of this week. Square testing the Bollinger Band. That Bollinger Band will act as a support level until it's broken back into. Shop, nice push up here, trying to get back into the Bollinger Band. Looks like it's finally trying to break out. Tesla, strong move, and then giving it back going into the end of the day. XLK, you can see the very cup and handle ascending triangle. It's just more ascending triangle. It's trying to break out, trying to get back into the Bollinger Bands on Friday. Tesla did get back into the Bollinger Bands on Friday. It's hard to be super bearish on these charts when they're, just getting back into the Bollinger Bands, but that's Tesla's weekly chart. Here's Tesla's daily. This one, you can draw a resistance level right across here. You want to take out this range high. You want to move higher. You could even just draw a box around it, but you want to take that range high out and for a move higher. Uber coming back in, searching for the short-term moving average. Walmart, very H-cell pattern this year, so if we can break below this candle, we'll look for a move lower. Moving averages are trying to roll over here. Need a break below that candle before we move lower, and then watch that 50-day. XLF, big bearish engulfing candle there on Friday, but they had gapped up on earnings and then they sold. A profit taken. TLT, rejection at the 200 there. IWM, nice move up off our foot pattern on the weekly. This is the IWM daily coming back in. We got this range break here, nice breakout, coming back in search of a short-term moving average, looking for a flag. Or put the call ratio back into the neutral zone there. Oscillators for the NASDAQ, as you can see here, nice push up on the chart. So, we had this strong push and we were getting a little overheated in that area. So Friday's action allowed us to cool back off, which gives us, we were getting a little extended there And a lot of times, you can traders start looking for reversals, and it's nice that we were able to cool back off. So now we have room to move in either direction on our charts without any struggle there. And you can see the same thing in the New York Stock Exchange. We had a strong push up going through the last week, and Friday was able to cool us back down to give us more room to move. And of course, we can go in either direction. It's just nice to see the cool off, because we always want the market to go up. And that concludes our video for today. I hope you find this helpful, and I'll see you in the trading room.